What's going on, everybody? Boris here at the Ecology Designs, coming at you with another tutorial. This time we're going to take a look at .NET resources and tools. So what is .NET? What is a .NET framework? Well, it's a Microsoft set of tools, and .NET is a programming framework created by Microsoft that developers can use to create applications more easily. As some commenter has aptly put it, a framework is just a bunch of code that the programmer can call without having to write it explicitly. So in the .NET framework, we're going to encounter languages like C#, the alternative to Java, and C++. C++ is a very powerful language, and we're going to use it to learn more about the middle layer and the business logic. We're going to learn about pointers, references, pointers to pointers, and what a two-dimensional array is and how it works on a backend, about the physical versus the logical size of an array, about linked lists, and then in Java we're going to learn about hash sets and hash maps, and we'll expand our knowledge going on from there. But for now, if you have a .edu, an educational account, you can come to this website. Again, all of these links will be available down below this video in the description. You can get verified. It'll ask you to enter in your email, confirm it, and then so on and so forth. And then once you log in here, you'll be able to download the application. Again, really powerful set of tools, and it'll allow you to play around with professional grade software. Highly recommended. .NET is a great framework. So we have on one side we have the J2 EE, and then on the other side we have .NET. And here we're going to learn about C++ and also how to create web applications using C#. And that's coming on down the road. Then we're going to come to a familiar website, the JetBrains, where in the previous video we grabbed IntelliJ IDEA. Here we're going to grab ReSharper. ReSharper is a productivity tool for .NET development. And what it's going to do is improve the way IntelliSense works. It'll add some value and some functionality to our .NET environment and make it even more powerful than it already is. And if you're curious, you can also grab the WebStorm IDE for JavaScript. I haven't used it, but I'm going to be exploring this later if we get a chance. We also need to grab a database tool of some sort, or a database. We haven't done that on the Java side yet. Here we're going to grab the either SQL Server 2012 if you have an MSDN subscription, or if you're able to obtain a copy of this. If you're not to worry, we can grab MySQL Server. And this article tells us some of the functionality that is available between SQL Server, which we saw on the last page, and MySQL. And as you can see, it's open source. It's available on many platforms: Red Hat, SUSE, Fedora, while SQL Server is only available on Windows. Now, SQL stands for Sequential Query Language, and sometimes it's pronounced SQL, sometimes SQL. You heard me pronounce it both ways. I think there's a correct way to do it, and I think it's SQL. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, you can take a look at this article down in the description below and some of the features of both databases and what we'll be doing with it. But we're going to grab this database. And the thing about the Java tools that we covered in the previous video is we can use this database as well. We can add a data source to our WebLogic web server that will use either a MySQL or a SQL Server database, and we can take advantage of that. So we can have an independent database where we don't care whether we have Microsoft or a open source version of this tool. So you'll see here on their website the Dolphin. I'm not entirely sure why they went with a Dolphin. It's pretty cool, but still. They've got the MySQL community server. They've got different things, proxy, workbench. You can take a look at what they have available. Of course, the release notes, the facts, some of the details, and familiarize yourself with this tool. And then down the road, documentation, of course, very important. Down the road, we're going to be doing some tutorials on that as well. But as you can see, we have a lot of tools, a lot of functionality available to us on both the open source Java side and on the more proprietary .NET side. And we have a lot of ground to cover, a lot of tutorials to go through, a lot of material to familiarize ourselves with. But not to worry, we're going to go through each of them sequentially, logically, and then we'll do configuration for these tools as well in the next few tutorials here coming up. Guys, this brings us to the end of our video today. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time on an Arcology Designs production.